Three people who were killed in a wrong-way crash on the Turnpike in Portland last week have been identified. Police say the driver of the vehicle that was going the wrong way was 23-year-old Brandon Crawford Adams of Old Orchard Beach. The passenger in his vehicle was 22-year-old Julia Chaplain of Dudley, Massachusetts. The driver of the vehicle struck head-on was 33-year-old Alpha Anastasio of Portland. The driver of another vehicle hit by Crawford Adams' car was not hurt. The crash is still under investigation.